Hello, everybody. Welcome to Galaxy Brains, where that is not Augusta National. It's the Augusta National Rent-A-Car, where you have been stranded since Tuesday, since nobody told you it's actually not an operational rental car center, and it's just there for show because no one actually rents cars in Augusta. They all just have their BMWs delivered on flatbeds, Denny. How are we doing today?
Well, I'm now reeling over the length of that joke. I actually have been to the Masters, folks, and here's what happens. People near the Masters rent out their lawns for you to park on. It's true. It happens.
We delivered Denny to the Masters on a flatbed. And Denny, someone who's going to have a lot more time to be going to the Masters beginning in 2025 is Tyreek Hill, because he has come forth with the oddly specific retirement date of that year, 2025. And you think, though, that you're not saying you believe him, Denny, is what you're telling me off air. You don't believe that he's going to retire in 2025.
I would be surprised if there are any living humans who believe Tyreek Hill will actually retire in 2025. He says when his contract is over with the Miami Dolphins, he's gone. He's out of the game. But what Tyreek Hill maybe is not comprehending fully, really, is the life cycle of an elite NFL wide receiver. And here's how it goes. You play for a team, whatever. He played for the Chiefs. Now he's playing for the Dolphins until it's over. And then you go to a terrible team, a terrible franchise willing to overpay by about 45% of your market value, namely, of course, the Jets or the Raiders. So Tyreek Hill is forgetting that he's going to be made the highest paid NFL wide receiver at 31 years old in the year 2025 by either the Jets or the Raiders. He seemed to forget this. That's why he's not retiring in 2025. He's going to play at least 2, 3, 4 more seasons.
Yeah, Denny, if it's an elite receiver like Tyreek Hill and 8 years after they're retired, you can't Google image search Tyreek Hill Jets. You're just trying to remember, man, what did this guy look like on the Jets? Because I can't even picture Tyreek Hill in a Jets uniform, but Pro Football Reference says he caught 42 passes in 2 years for the Jets. Is this real?
He played in 9 games for the Jets over 2 seasons. I don't remember that. But yeah, so no, he's not going anywhere. Dolphins fans, you get 3 more seasons really of Tyreek Hill, and that's cool. He's fast and exciting. But then, hey, you know what, Jets fans, you get your shot after that, and he's not going anywhere.
Denny, do you know what year I'm retiring?
No, I actually haven't nailed that down. What year are you retiring?
I was born in 1986, so I figure by 2076, I will be eligible for Social Security by then, after they've probably changed the laws a few times. So hoping to start drawing my Social Security check when I'm 90 for our tricentennial of this country in 2076. I'll take some time off finally, go see some of the parades, some of the celebrations. If quarters still exist, then I'll start collecting some of the tricentennial quarters. And I've just got a lot of really big plans for 2076 when I retire.
Quarters will be NFTs, of course, by that point. By 2072 or 3, I'm a little older than you. I plan to stop writing about Hayden Hurst and retire myself. That's when I'm guessing that I will receive my first dollar in Social Security benefits. So we're hoping that comes to fruition in the 2070s, which not too long away.
Denny will never retire. The Baltimore Ravens will never, ever, ever simply, quote, talk about their best player, Lamar Jackson, Denny. There was a press conference earlier this week with GM Eric DeCosta, head coach John Harbaugh, where there was an awkward moment when a reporter attempted to ask them, about their best player, Lamar Jackson. And then they had a mafioso PR person intervene and say, we will not be talking about the best player on this football team. What do you think this is? And what do you think this is, Denny? What's going on?
It is, you have to hand it to the Ravens for holding a press conference as they are in one of the strangest, if not the strangest contract situation in the history of the NFL. And that is an elite quarterback who may or may not play for you anymore, who may or may not play in the NFL going forward anymore, since no other teams, for some reason, are interested in his services. It's the only thing that matters in all of football. It is one of the biggest stories in sports of this year. And the Ravens held a press conference to talk about whether they would draft an inside linebacker in the 5th round of the NFL draft. So it is a curious move, and that they wouldn't talk about Lamar. And but they made contingencies. They had somebody come in and tell reporters, you cannot talk about the only thing that matters. You have to talk about things that don't matter.
They gave me a list of things you could talk about. And frankly, I do like talking about some of these things. Like, why is this going to be the year you guys think that Justice Hill will finally break out and catch 80 passes? And
Right.
why do you think this will be the year James Prochet's blocking just really, really makes the difference on this offense? Why do you think this will be the year we re-sign Nick Boyle and he becomes an all-pro? This is going nowhere.
Well, these are the questions that apparently they wanted, and they did address a quarterback centric question, which was, "Are you going to draft a quarterback in the 1st round?" And they said, "We have quarterbacks among our 31 best players, so possibly."
Are the Ravens down bad, Denny? On the one hand, they do have exclusive rights to Lamar Jackson. Well, on the other hand, they seem to genuinely have no idea if he will ever play football for them again. And
I think they're down pretty bad, and I don't see Lamar coming back. I mean, there have been former Ravens players who have some insight, who talked to the media, who said, no, Lamar is not going to play in Baltimore anymore. That doesn't mean he's going to play anywhere else. But I think that losing Lamar Jackson's services going forward is gonna hurt the Ravens. And in this press conference, by the way, Jim Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta, the general manager, John Harbaugh,
Denny.
I apologize to the Harbaugh family, who obviously huge.
They're very litigious too.
And John Harbaugh, they sat there stone faced when the Lamar questions were being asked. And that takes discipline. I don't know how they did that. I don't know how they just looked into a sea of reporters and said, no, we aren't addressing the elephant in the room, the elephant crushing us all in this room.
Well, this takes discipline to look that stupid. Just like listen, man, this is football. Like, obviously, it's the only thing anyone cares about. Just say you don't know. Stop acting like it's like nuclear secrets,
right?
And just say you don't know. And that, like, I know everyone wants to talk about it. No freaking clue, though.
It's okay not to know.
It is okay not to know. You know who does know, Denny, is Cameron Newton. He knows that he's willing to be a backup quarterback to remain in the National Football League in the year 2023. Yeah. And he's issued a rather extensive list of players he would be willing to back up in 2023, Denny. I don't know. How are we feeling about this? How are we feeling about Cam Newton being a backup quarterback?
Cam Newton came out dressed like, I don't know, a mafia member in 1938. And came out and said, I'm okay. I'm willing to be a backup. This is 2 weeks after he posted a social media video in which he said he's a top 32 NFL quarterback, which
posted a social media video, I believe, with the headline, "I will never be a backup quarterback." The thumbnail, like him, like doing the Superman thing, and then like the new thumbnails, of course, is like trying to make him like look really nerdy and like.
So I thought for the Galaxy Brains viewers, we should list the quarterbacks who Cam Newton mentioned as guys he would back up. You want to go ahead with that list?
You go ahead. Yeah, he began with Deshaun Watson. He included Sam Howell and Malik Willis, which I know a shoulder shot, but setting the bar a little low there. He did say Lamar Jackson. He said the rookie quarterbacks. He said this is where it gets just really, really weird. He said Christian Hackenberg. I mean, is this guy even still in the league? He said Jimmy Clausen, which I didn't know. Jimmy Clausen is still in the league. He's actually the Bucs' number 3 quarterback and has been since 2015. That kind of stuff. He said Blaine Gabbert also on the Bucs. Mark Sanchez currently on the Bucs. Everyone knows that. Chris Streveler, he's willing to back up. He's no longer on the Bucs. He was on their offseason. He's back on the Jets though. And Denny, I know it's a very eclectic list. And I mean, Cam, a guy is known for bravado and confidence. I feel like now it's just setting the bar a little too low. Jake Fromm, who is somehow on the Bucs also. Who else is he willing to back?
Taysom Hill. The list got weird as he went on. The list got a little weird.
Kendall Hinton was on the list, of course.
By the way, Cam Newton obviously refuses and will never backup Jimmy Garoppolo. He won't. That's a bridge too far. But the humility I think this shows is noteworthy. He's willing to, like he said, back up Malik Willis. So therefore, he's willing to be the 4th string quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Okay. Yeah. He's willing to back up Sam Howell. He's willing to be the 3rd string quarterback for the Washington Commanders. This is humility you just don't see from a former superstar, and you have to give it to him. You have to hand it to him.
He's a changed man. He's currently working out with Jarrett Stidham, who he is, of course, willing to back up for the Denver Broncos. And we are willing to back up no one on Galaxy Brains. We take no quarter. We take no prisoner. We give every last laugh, being told to end the show.
We do need to end. Yes.
We've been told to end the show. So for Denny Carter, I am Patrick Daugherty. Thank you, as always, for joining us for Brain Expansion. We'll be back next week for ever larger brains.